I asked to speak at Texas at the DU House, and the president said, "Brooks, they'll never come to listen. They won't even come to serenade a sorority. But if you want to come in and you kind of make a fool of yourself, but you can come in if you want to. Do you want to do it?" I said, "Oh yeah, I want to do it." I said, "Now I have got to get some prayer for this particular meeting." So I had an older lady who was a real saint. I said, "You'll have to pray because this is going to be a terrible meeting." And she said, "Well, I'll get my friend and we will pray for you starting at 6 o'clock. And when do you want us to stop?" I said, "Well, the meeting is going to end at a little after 8 o'clock. We'll eat first, have the meeting by 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'll be finished, and I've given the invitation to receive Christ. You just pray." "Oh, that's wonderful, Ro, I'll love it." So I walked in with our team, went in to sit down, and there were about 80 men there, and they'd all sat down, and we walked in. And the president said, "I'd like to introduce the Campus Crusade for Christ team tonight that's going to speak in the living room after the meal." So I didn't look back. I just walked out. I thought, well, they'll all go out the back door. I heard chairs shuffle and feet, and I thought they're going out the kitchen door. They're not going to come out. And I went out to the front and stood in front of the fireplace, and lo and behold, all of them came out. They were all over couches, chairs, the floor, everywhere. And I said, "Whoa, this is going to be an interesting meeting." And I began to speak. I stood up by the couch and spoke, and they all were just so intent and watched my face. I said, "Now, I would like you to pray and invite Christ into your life. I'll pray first, and then you pray silently with me to invite Christ into your life." Well, I bowed my head and I prayed, and they bowed their heads and prayed. Now I said, "Now we're going to adjourn the meeting for a minute. So all those that need to go back to work will come back to work. And those of you who made a commitment and want to know how to know you're really a Christian, you stay." And so I waited. Nobody left. So I said, "Pardon me, you've been very kind and gracious. You can now leave if you didn't make that decision. And we'll begin in another minute." I waited, nobody left. And then I said, "Now, man, you don't understand. You've been very gracious." And a man who was the tackle on the Texas football team says, "Oh, shut up, Brooks, and tell us." So I talked to them and gave them their assurance. They all listened. And then I turned to the president and said, "I think we need to come back tomorrow night and go over some of this. Would there be any place we could meet?" The president said, "We'll meet in the chapter room. All of you come to the chapter room at 8 o'clock. Well, I went home, I got on the phone, and I called my saint, and I said, "Are you still praying?" He said, "Yes, we're still praying. It's just been wonderful." I said, "Well, it's wonderful for me, but I'm so tired now, you can stop." And she said, "Oh, that's wonderful." And the next night, they came to the meeting, gave out the materials, and that was a marvelous meeting. But prayer made the difference there.